So Jim Renacci had the same thing happen that we're talking about here. There was a split anti-DeWine vote in the state of Ohio. And so DeWine won the primary and was our nominee in the general election. And a lot of people said, well, I'm just going to write in Jim Renacci, in the general. And what we found out and what we told people was that at least in Ohio, you can't do that. You can't write in the name of somebody who lost in a primary. So I don't know if that's the same way federally, but I hope that people who are Trump supporters, if it comes down to it and he's not the nominee, which I do not believe will happen, I think he's going to be the nominee, but if he's not the nominee and they go ahead and write his name in, they might as well have just not voted because it wouldn't count anyway.
Exactly, and that's the message that needs to get to go across is if you're going to willingly write in anybody, you're essentially not casting a vote, period. And I don't think people understand that.
No, I think you're exactly right. Thank you, my friend. Great phone call. Great points to start us off here in this conversation. Thank you, Anthony. Listen, if President Trump wins, I want to make this very, very clear. I will trump up my truck. I've got a red truck. I will trump up my house. I'll trump up my signs. I'll trump up my social media pages. And I will be what I hope we all will be, and that is champions for our nominee. But what I want to know is if you are a Trump supporter, first and foremost, and he's not the nominee, will you do the same thing for the winner? Will you do the same thing for Ron DeSantis or Tim Scott or whomever it might be? Because if we're not willing to say that, we are automatically here in 2023 surrendering 2024. Bring it back.
Vulnerability, uncertainty, volatility, precarious, unpredictable, all of these words describe our banking system as evidenced by the recent collapse of two banks. Dennis Prager here for AmFed, Coin, and Bullion. This was the second largest bank failure in history, and the Federal Reserve has been scrambling to keep a bank run from spreading. If you feel uneasy about having too much money sitting in the bank, you're not alone. Gold, silver, and platinum have had recent gains as investors look for safe places to park their money. Now more than ever, you need to call Nick Grovich, man I deeply admire, owner of AmFed Coin and Bullion. I've been doing business with Nick for years. Nick and his very experienced team of specialists will provide you with personalized attention, honest information, and sound advice. Be smart and be prepared. If you're interested in buying or selling, call AmFed Coin and Bullion 800-221-7694 or go online to AmericanFederal.com. That's AmericanFederal.com. Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful at lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question, and the owners of Relief Factor tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. That's right, designed to heal, and I agree with them. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, yes, 100% drug-free ingredients, each helping your body deal with inflammation. Each of the 4 ingredients deals with inflammation from a different metabolic pathway. That's right there, approaching from 4 different angles, maybe why so many people find such wonderful relief. So if you have back pain, shoulder, neck, hip, knee, or foot pain from exercise or just getting older, you should order the 3-week quick start. Discount that's only $19.95 to see if it will work for you. It has for about 70% of the 500,000 people who've tried it, and they've ordered more. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF, the number 4RELIEF, to find out about this offer. Feel the difference. Bay Area, throwing your hard-earned money down the drain? Sick and tired of skyrocketing electricity bills? It's not getting better anytime soon. Trust the #1 solar plus battery storage installer in California. Declare your independence from your electric bill with Semper Solaris. Solar plus battery storage is the solution. Choose between Tesla or Enphase battery storage and say goodbye to high electric bills for good. How's your roof? Semper Solaris is an Owens Corning Platinum preferred contractor. Get the Owens Corning 50-year warranty upgrade with no payments or interest until 2024. It's the last roof you'll ever buy. Need a new, more efficient heating and AC system? Do it now and get a lifetime warranty and a free Nest thermostat. Grab the 30% solar federal tax credit, $500 downloadable coupon, $500 off for military, first responders, and healthcare workers, plus 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 12 months. Go solar American style with Semper Solaris. Call now, 650-376-8287 or visit sempersolaris.com. Approved credit expires 4/30/2023. CSLB number 978152.
Our nation's pandemic and subsequent financial crisis has affected hundreds of thousands. Many of those hardest hit are right here in the Bay Area.
Many are neighbors, friends, even folks we go to church with. Jobless, hopeless, homeless. Since 1965, the Bay Area Rescue Mission has been caring for the homeless and impoverished, providing food, shelter, and a fresh start for those struggling with addiction or personal crisis. The Bay Area Rescue Mission delivers the hope of the gospel message to each and every one they reach. Simply go to bayarearescue.org. At this critical time, with so many lives in financial turmoil, your partnership with the Bay Area Rescue Mission helps meet the physical needs of hurting families and the spiritual needs as well. To share your tax-deductible gift of hope today, simply go to bayarearescue.org. Love without limits. The Bay Area Rescue Mission. bayarearescue.org. bayarearescue.org.
Top of the hour. Welcome once again to the Dennis Prager Show. I'm Bob France, sitting in for Dennis, live in the ReliefFactor.com studios here in Cleveland, Ohio. Phone lines are open at 877-243-7776. We're starting today talking about presidential politics. This isn't really presidential primaries because we're not there yet. Most of the candidates aren't even declared. But it's more of presidential positioning. It's presidential branding. Tim Scott just launched an exploratory committee, put together a very, very highly produced and very well done video, by the way, highlighting his own career and his own personal life and his vision and so forth for this country. So it's kind of presidential branding and positioning right now, but it's kind of begging the question. Will it be Donald Trump or will it be the field? There's going to be a field of candidates working very, very hard to usurp Donald Trump and become the Republican nominee. Most of them are going to split votes with one another, and Donald Trump is going to coast to the nomination, provided he's allowed to, given the fact that, again, we have all of these indictments, overstuffed Alvin in Manhattan, stringing together and bootstrapping a bunch of misdemeanors and making them felonies with an unreported crime and all of this garbage that he is dealing with. He's going to deal with more garbage in Georgia as well. But for whatever reason, whatever that reason may be, by hook or by crook, if Donald Trump is not the nominee, will Donald Trump's supporters in the primary turn around and support the actual nominee? If we don't unify that way, if every hand isn't in the air on a debate stage that says, will you support the nominee? And if every hand isn't in the air among millions of people listening to the Dennis Prager Show, saying, I'll support the nominee if it's Trump, or if it's DeSantis, or if it's Scott, or whatever, I'll do it. If we don't have every hand in the air, we lose. And America loses. 877-243-7776. That's 8-Prager-776. Let's go to, how about Cherry Hill, New Jersey? That's where Pete is waiting on the Dennis Prager Show. Hey, Pete, it's Bob in for Dennis. Go ahead, sir.
Not supposed to.
Hi, how you doing? I am an ever-Trumper, and I believe I voted for Trump every time, and I knew I was going to vote for him even before that. If he said he was going, I knew he was going to be my candidate. That being said, we're fighting, like I've heard other people say, and I've believed this for a long time, we're fighting evil. We're fighting to save this country from the Democrats. And I'm as big as a Trump supporter come, I will back the Republican Party for the nominee for the next election to defeat the Democrats. And I think it's everybody's obligation, as a Republican and conservative, to do this.
See, you just proved yourself to be more than a Trump supporter or an always Trumper or only Trumper. You proved yourself to be an American first. And that's, what's funny is President Trump's mantra has been, since he first became a candidate back in 2015, has been America first. We're not putting other, I loved his statement shortly after he became president when he said, I'm the president of Pittsburgh, not Paris. So America has to come first. And sadly, far too many of them, at least judging by their statements on social media, are saying it's Trump first, America second. If my guy doesn't win the nomination, then the hell with you all, I'm not voting. Or I'm actually going to vote for the Democrat because I'm so mad. Those people aren't America first. Those people, Donald Trump, I would suspect, would be very disappointed in. He would tell them, no, don't do that. I hope anyway, because America has to come first, right?
Yes, most definitely.
Well, you've proven that with your statement here. I thank you, Pete, for that call from New Jersey. Appreciate that. Let's go to Dan is calling us from Minnesota. Let's see, it's Grove Heights, if I have it right. Oh, Invergrove Heights. I can't read that small font on my screen. Welcome, Dan. Go ahead, sir.
Country, my friend. Hi, Bob. Yeah, so, look, I love President Trump. I mean, you know, I voted for him. I voted for him in a heartbeat. I'd support him 1,000% if he was the guy. The thing that concerns me is he energizes the left in the wrong direction. And you know, a lot of the talk on conservative radio, notwithstanding Seth Gorka or Officer Tatum, is that you know he'll win the Republican primary easily, but not the general because of what happened in 2020. They'll just do it again. And you know, I think if we get like a Tim Scott, and then anybody who's a newbie to the presidency would be foolish not to draw on President Trump's experience, knowledge, and connections, you know, to help move this country and turn it around. You know, even though, look, I know President Trump could do more in 4 years than a newbie to the presidency could do in 8. But how do you get him in? You know, I just don't know if we could counter the left's antipathy to President Trump. It's like, you know, it's like they say, Trump derangement syndrome. You know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
He inspires a level of hatred and disdain for himself unlike anybody I've ever seen. I used to say that about George Bush. Before President Trump ever came along, what the left did to George Bush and how much he enraged them is unlike anything I'd ever seen before in my lifetime. And now that Donald Trump has come along, it makes they treated Bush with kid gloves comparatively. They would steal, they would lie, they would cheat to stop him from getting in office again. I completely agree with that. So it kind of begs this question, and thank you for the call, Dan. I appreciate that. It kind of begs this question too. When it comes to the ridiculous, in my view, indictment of Donald Trump by overstuffed Alvin in Manhattan, there's a debate in conservative circles as to what the intent is. If you are a big champion of President Trump, you believe that they're doing this to stop him from running because they know they can't. They're trying to stop him. He's the biggest threat. He's the leader of the opposition party. So we're going to trump up these ridiculous, you know, reporting errors or reporting missteps about payments to Stormy Daniels and blah, blah, blah. And they're doing this because they're afraid of him. If you're not in that camp, there are many who believe that the Democrats are playing a game of chess of their own here, and that they know that indicting him on such shoddy charges is going to generate so much support. They raised like $11 million in 2 weeks since the indictment. The Trump campaign has. They know that the support is going to grow so much that the anger and the conservatives for what they're doing to Trump is going to be so strong that they're going to make sure he wins, which is what they want because he's the easiest to beat. There is a strong belief in a lot of political circles, including some conservative circles, that Trump is the field, but he's the easiest to beat in a general election because he's not going to bring moderates along with him. He's going to have his base, and no moderates are going to be swayed in his direction. Which of those two camps are you in? What do you believe their intention is with overstuffed Alvin's indictment of President Trump? We'll be back.
Look, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and pulled your business through the pandemic, or really the lockdown. And now, doing the tough thing could qualify you for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. This is not a loan, and you don't have to pay it back. The program is complicated, but nobody knows more about it than the CPAs and tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do all the work and share a percentage of the cash they get you. Businesses of all types, including nonprofits and churches, can qualify, including those who took PPP loans, even if you had increases in sales. You did the tough thing for your employees during COVID. Let covidtaxrelief.org help you get up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org. That's covidtaxrelief.org.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do.
but you do have to plan for it. Start by tuning in to Eric Heckman of Heckman Financial and Insurance Services every Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday morning at 9 for Wealth Creator Radio. Find out what the heck you need to know to make retirement the best time of your life. Wealth Creator Radio with Eric Heckman, Saturday mornings at 8, Sunday mornings at 9. Investment advisory services provided by Heckman Financial and Insurance Services, Inc.
Cable news. Noisy, out of touch, on repeat. Tired of all the lookalikes? So are we. Salem News Channel is here to change the game. Streaming 24/7, free on your TV, with the greatest collection of conservative voices. Home to Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Like you, we say what's wrong and what's right. Unfiltered and unapologetic. Salem News Channel. We're the answer to the mainstream media. Learn more at snc.tv.
Hi, this is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and best-selling author on safety and preparedness. The fact is, things are getting downright scary for everyone who's storing their wealth in the banks. We just saw the collapse of 3 major banks, and I would urge you to consider protecting your wealth ASAP. If even a tiny percentage of Americans attempt to withdraw their savings, we would see a collapse of the entire banking system, sending us into a modern-day Great Depression. Fortunately, there is a way for you to avoid this. It starts with contacting Advantage Gold. If you have an IRA or 401k, Advantage Gold can help convert those paper assets into physical gold and silver. This is the process that I recommend everybody use as a hedge against rapid inflation and to protect your retirement wealth from the banks. Take control of your financial safety today. Call 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
Commercial-free with on-demand listening anytime you want. Sign up now at pragertopia.com.
Okay, 6 minutes before the top of the hour. Bob Brandt sitting in for Dennis Prager. Good to have you aboard. I'm live in Cleveland, Ohio. My home base is AM 1420 The Answer. If you're looking for it, if you want to listen other times, it's WHKRadio.com. So we're going to talk more in the next hour about this presidential race as well, and we'll continue on the topic that we are doing. I'm a guy that is very, very open to change right now. I am as infuriated and enraged as any other conservative that Donald Trump had his second term stolen from him. It was illegal. It was rigged. It was all of those things. I would like justice to be served, too. I would like him to get in again just to shove it straight up their noses. I really would. But I am also of a mind that I want to get things done. And I know that the obstruction that the Democrats throw at Donald Trump is unlike anything they've ever done to anybody else. And it would be very, very hard. Probably there would be at least 2 more motions for impeachment in a second term, just like there was in the first. They'll do anything they can to stop him and whatever agenda he has. I'm open to change, but what I am trying to get across here is that while Donald Trump might not be my very first choice at this moment in time in April of 2023, I will champion him if he's our nominee. And I hope everybody who is in the Trump camp that is their first choice right now will champion Ron DeSantis if he's the nominee. And will not listen to what Donald Trump has done or said himself to Ron DeSantis or about Ron DeSantis in this. It's not even a primary phase right now because DeSantis is not a declared candidate. We're still 9 months away from the Iowa primaries. We're still, 6 months away from any debates, all of those kinds of things. But he's already branding Ron DeSantis as being somebody who's going to slash Social Security and Medicare, somebody who's a groomer, because he took pictures with his high school students back when he was a 23-year-old teacher. All of these things that he has done, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the way he's treated Ron DeSantis. He's been nicer to Gavin Newsom, the far-left Marxist failed governor of blue state California, than he is to Ron DeSantis, the super-uber conservative, America First champion of the great red state of Florida. I got a problem with that. But I will still be a huge champion of his if he's our guy. It's the only way we can win. And the only way it's going to work is if people who are for President Trump in this particular situation will do the same thing for whomever wins. So that's kind of been the theme of this. Now, the real big question we're going to address